Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia, and you are here live with me, tapping into better moods and a better groove. And I'm super excited that you're taking this time to give your emotional body the love and care and support that it needs to keep the rest of your life and the rest of your body strong and stable during these super intense times that we're all going through. If you are live here with us and not watching this on YouTube or on the replay, chat into the chat and let us know where you're logging in from. And also let me know how you're feeling. What moods are you in conflict with inside yourself right now? As you may have, no, you can't. Well, you can see in the chat, the sticky note says mastering moods. So this is the theme for today. So let me know where you're logging in from and what moods you are struggling to master inside yourself. So hello to Mia in Spain. Early morning there. Love from Erin in San Rafael, California, Danielle in New Jersey, Meredith in Ketchum, Idaho, Sierra in Los Angeles, Teresa in Albuquerque, Christina says anger and going stir crazy, right? I know, huh? Margaret, Mo, and Jim in San Mateo, Wade in... Oh, it's coming in so quickly, it's hard to keep up. I'm just going to skip around. Don't feel sad if I didn't see your name. Wade in San Mateo. Sylvia in North Carolina. Dylan in Chico, California. Greg in Eureka. Andrea F. says, this is my second Circle First Live logging in from Nashville, California. Corrine says, much love and gratitude, Sonya from Australia. Choiki, I don't know how to say your name. Choki. Blessings of comfort and joy from Choki and Simon in Arizona. Diana says, I'm having a roller coaster of moods. Yeah. Beautiful family from Canada, Santa Barbara, Austin. So many people here logging in live. I'm so happy to see. Our membership has jumped. I think we have 700 people now signed up for Circle, which is pretty amazing. But Gregory says, I always feel optimistic after doing this. Well, I'm really glad, and that's what this is for. Your emotional well-being actually governs every other part of your life. It really has a lot to do with your physical health, your immune system. It has to do with how well you sleep, how well you're thinking, how well you're able to follow through on tasks, and how well you're able to interact and relate in a kind and happy way with other people. So as much as we've overlooked the emotional well-being in our society for so long and looked outside of ourselves for distraction and different ways of medicating and numbing out our feelings, now we're all being driven to look inside and find long-term sustainable solutions, which I love tapping for because it's something you can do for yourself and instantly change your neurohormones, your chemistry in your body, and how you feel and how you express. So thank you for taking the time for you. All right, I'm going to look at some of the feelings that are coming in now that you've had a minute, and we're going to get tapping on mastering our moods. Jonah says tired in Mount Vernon, Washington. Treva's appreciating my hair. Jennifer D says, I'm feeling a bit irritable. Sad, angry, overwhelmed, frustration, fear. All right. So I'm getting, as I tune in to people and myself going through the roller coaster right now, all kinds of feelings, including helplessness, So give me a yes if you're feeling some helplessness in this situation, some futility, wondering if what we're doing is actually working, or if what you're doing is helpful or even worth doing, right? Because the world is changing so quickly right now. Yeah, I see that, everybody. All right, well, we're going to get some tapping. A lot of yes, loss of control, helpless, futile, absolutely, feeling like what's the point, right? I hear you. Okay. So again, until we are past this crisis that we're dealing with and the varying aspects of it's kind of going to be our group theme. If you're looking for other issues to be resolved and this whole virus thing isn't on your mind, I welcome you to remember that you have a video library with over 250 videos on multiple subjects, and they're all tagged in the members area video library. There's things for health, there's things for sexuality, money, relationships, all kinds of different subjects in there. So remember that your video library is your friend, and you can use that 24/7 anytime you want. There's short taps, long taps, it's all there for you. All right, here we go. Finding the front of the chest, feeling around for these tender spots in the front of the chest, pressing on these acupuncture points to help open the emotional body and activate the left and the right hemisphere of the brain so that we can more rapidly process the feels that are going through all of us right now. This is call and response for those of you who are new. We're going to be tapping on meridians. I'm going to show you the points on me. You're going to find them on you. Don't worry if you don't get it right. You're actually covered in meridian points and you can't really mess this up as long as you keep tapping and breathing. If you find a lot of feelings coming up, it's big, strong breaths. Okay? And feel free to modify this session so it's more accurate and truthful for your own experience. Here we go. Repeating after me, even though I've been feeling, and then say how you've been feeling. Tapping the eyebrows, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Smoothing down the eyebrows, tapping on the temples. These feelings of, and then say the same feeling that you've been really strongly feeling, the first one that you mentioned. And tapping the cheeks. I accept this intense experience of, and say that same feeling again. Maybe it's overwhelmed, maybe it's tired. Tapping under the nose. And instead of resisting this feeling like we often do, I want you just to accept for now the feeling of that in your body as you tap under your lips and breathe. So just tuning in for that place inside you that's really feeling depressed or angry or sad. Tapping the chest. I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even if I continue to feel this way. Big deep breath. Tapping the front of the rib cage, bottom of the ribs, right where your ribs stick out the most in front. I'm open to accepting the part of me that keeps spinning in this feeling. Tapping the side of the ribs. It's so intense. Big deep breath. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I want you to rate your stress level on your mood. If you were to assess your moods lately, or even your mood today, 0 means I feel completely happy and joyous. 10 is, I'm about to keel over from the stress of this. Or I'm, spinning down super low. If the intensity is really high, it means that this is a huge struggle for you. So see if you can assess what number of intensity around your moods that you've been having, and put that in the chat. I see people who are used to doing this popping it straight into the chat. Mark D 7, Micah says 10, Andrea says 8. Tapping the side of the thumb. Even though this has been super intense for me. Big deep breath. Tapping the index finger. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the middle finger. I accept the part of me that's really struggling with this. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger and say what this is for you. What are you struggling with right now? Maybe it's a thought, a particular thought that keeps running through your head, like, how am I going to pay my rent and bills? It might be a particular fear like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get the COVID and die, or someone I love is affected and I don't know what to do. Tapping the little finger, let's just acknowledge what the main fear is for you. And say it out loud. And tap the side of your hand as you breathe. Tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the sides of the head, the back of the head. I accept the part of me that is chronically frustrated, sad, and worried about this. Tapping the eyebrows, just accepting for now this part of you that is so worried. Big deep breath, tapping your temples. Tapping the cheeks. I love and respect myself. Or I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping under the nose. Even if I continue to feel stressed. Tapping under the lips. Overwhelmed. Tapping the chest. And like nothing I do is going to make any difference. Big deep breath. Tapping the front of the ribs. This stress, I'm going to call it stress. You say specifically what it is for you. Say it out loud as you tap the bottom of the front of your ribs and breathe. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm open to loving and supporting myself, even if I feel shaky, wobbly, exhausted. Tap the inside of the wrist. And like nothing I do is going to change anything. Tapping the side of the thumb. It's possible I'm doing something right now that can help change everything. Tap the index finger. I chose to tap along. Tap the middle finger. I'm remembering how to be strong. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Here we go. I'm allowing myself to learn how to feel, process, and heal. Tap the little finger. I forgive myself for feeling stuck, overwhelmed. Tap the side of the hand, and afraid. Tapping the top of the head. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the side of the head and the back of the head. Tapping the eyebrows, even though part of me feels so stuck right now. Tapping the temples. So let's talk about that. Where do you feel absolutely stuck? Are you stuck at home? Are you stuck with no financial options? Are you stuck with people who are really hard to deal with? Either little kids or grumpy people in your environment. Tapping under the lips. I accept the part of me that feels powerless right now. Tap the chest. Describe where you feel stuck, helpless, or powerless. Blurt it all out. You have 30 seconds as you tap your chest and go. Tapping down to the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to accept and acknowledge the part of me that feels trapped. Tap the side of the ribs, stuck and helpless in this situation. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to loving and supporting myself. Big, deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. Even if I continue to feel stuck, trapped, and helpless, big, deep breath. Excuse me. Tapping the index finger. I give myself permission to relax and let go. Tapping the middle finger. I'm letting go of this feeling of being helpless. Excuse me. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. This feeling of being helpless. Yeah, I have something in my throat, you guys. And maybe there's a part of me that's feeling helpless, hey? That's probably the truth. Tap the little finger. I love and forgive myself. It's hard for me to say, so that's my truth coming out. I love and forgive myself for feeling helpless in this situation. Tap the side of the hand. Describe again the part of you that feels helpless. Or the situation that you feel like you can't change. Tapping the top of the head. I love and accept myself, even with this feeling in my body, exactly as it is. Tapping the eyebrows. It's possible that just by acknowledging these stuck feelings inside me, tapping the cheeks, I'm actually doing some good here. Tapping under the nose. It's possible, tapping under the lips, by processing this overwhelm, sadness, and anxiety, tapping the chest, that I'm lifting the mood, holding the space in the space I'm in. Okay, what does holding the space mean? It took me a long time. That's kind of a term that you hear in yoga classes and things. What is holding space? How do you hold space? Holding space means holding a certain vibe, creating a certain feeling that's coming from you that is lighting up the atmosphere and the environment that you're in. Tapping the front of the ribs. So that's actually quite important, especially when you have limited options. about what environment you can be in. So tapping the side of the ribs. So this is kind of a new concept. We didn't think that we mattered. We didn't think that our vibe mattered. We didn't think that people could tell how we were feeling or that it really affected anybody else until pretty recently. And now we know much more about how much one person's mood can affect the whole room, the whole house, right? Tap the side of the thumb. It's possible that by tapping through these fears and feelings, I'm holding space for my household. Tap the index finger. So what happens when the whole household feels better? Do you think that affects people that you're connecting with on Zoom, on the phone, on Skype? Yes, it does. So that feeling can transfer through a text message, through an email, through the way you interact with the people and animals in your environment, all because you decided to take some time for you. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. It's possible that I'm not as helpless as I feel. Tap the little finger. That there's still a way for me to transmit my love, my peace, and my stability. Tap the side of the hand. I start by acknowledging my own experience. You're beginning to understand that the way out is in. So just tapping the chest and listening for a second. So if you want to shift your mood, in the past we were taught to numb it with a substance, distract ourselves from it, or move away from it and shut it down. But the truth is, the sustainable way of dealing with our feelings is to acknowledge it, give love and compassion and empathy to it, let it move through our bodies somatically, meaning physically moving it through your body by A, tapping on the meridians, B, exercising, C, having someone else touch or hold you, but you must still bring your own attention there. And when you do, it dissolves and you are free. You feel it to completion, and it doesn't take very long if you get your body involved. So tapping the top of the head, I give myself permission to get really good at processing feelings right now. Woohoo! Processing feelings, just what we all wanted to get great at doing. Well, yeah, we do. Maybe we didn't want to get great at it, but we needed to get great at it because we've been ignoring our feelings. We've been ignoring our truth in this world, and it's led to this. We've been ignoring our power. Tapping into the nose. And as we come out of this, we're going to need healthier feelings and a stronger sense of power. Tapping under the lips and a lot of love to rebuild this world. Tapping the chest. I give myself permission to bring love into my body. To bring love into a choice that I have. So again, I want you to think of something that you have a lot of love for. Maybe you have a lot of love for a little baby. Maybe you have a lot of love for the beautiful flowers that are blossoming outside. Maybe you have a lot of love for a pet or a friend, a mother, a father, a lover. And just tune in as you tap your chest to how much love you have for this person, place, or thing. And let your heart expand with that love. Now, as we drop down to the front of the ribs, I want you to bring that love, that same feeling, into the place inside of you that is the most afraid right now. And I want you to put it in that same place, inside your mind, inside your body. So you're overlapping this beautiful feeling of love with this place of fear and suffering. Tapping the side of the ribs, breathing, do it again. Tuning into that feeling of love, getting a sample of it, and breathing that love into this place of suffering. Wherever you feel that suffering is hiding in your body. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Do it again. It's going to feel weird that you're putting two opposite things in the same place. So I'm going to help break it down, make it a little bit easier. Tuning into the love, tapping your wrist. Tapping the side of the thumb, tuning into this fear or suffering that you have going on in your life right now. Tapping the index finger, tuning back into the love. And bring that feeling of love to this place of suffering, anxiety, or fear in your body. Let's do it one more time, tapping the middle finger, tuning into that feeling of love. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, breathing it into this place of pain. Tap the little finger, tuning into that place of fear, pain, and suffering again, and see if you can still feel it. Tap the side of the hand. What number would you give this pain, fear, and suffering inside you now? Put it in the chat. And also let me know what's happening as you're tapping and learning how to breathe love, compassion, and empathy into this place that you're struggling with. For those of you watching on replay, I want you to write that number down. What were you feeling at the beginning as far as intensity? What are you feeling now as you're learning how to bring empathy and compassion into this place of struggle? So I'm going to check the chat. I'm seeing Meredith saying, hey, it's down to a 4. I think you were at a 9 at the beginning, right? Mark's down to a 5. Lydia's down to a 3. Jennifer's down to a 4. Deborah says, I'm at a 0. Lori says, I've gone from a 6 to a 4. Shoda says the space is opening up, getting softer. Andrea is saying an 8 to a 5. I feel happier thinking about the people I care about. Denise is from an 8 to a 4. Wow, it's coming in quick, you guys. Charlotte says first time here, from a 5 to a 0. Congratulations. Andrea down to a 5. Dylan down to a 3 from a 7. Rosina did the wave, which is very common. 5 up to a 7, now down to a 3. Gregory's down to a 3. Paula an 8 to a 5. Jonah says, I can't even remember why I was anxious, from an 8 to amnesia. Girl, you zeroed that out. Okay, Ursula an 8 to a 3. And my cat came onto my lap because I'm not so tense now. Okay. So you are learning how to master your mood. Massaging the front of the chest. Here we go. Even though there's still a little, and say what's there for you. And maybe it's a lot. I saw somebody saying, my fear is just too big. So, but your acceptance of that fear can get bigger than your fear. Even if you can't put love on it, you can accept for now how big it is and how hard it is to put love there. And that's actually a version of love. So massaging the front of the chest. Here we go again. Even though I still have a little, and then say what's there, or a lot of. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm open to loving and expressing myself. Tapping the temples. I accept the part of me that feels like it's too much. Tapping the cheeks. It's too hard. Tapping under the nose. Really impatient. Tapping under the lips. I give myself permission to gently take care of all of these fears and feelings. Tapping the chest. Learning how to have compassion for what's happening in my mind and heart. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Let's switch wrists this time. There's a part of me that's still really upset about what? What are you most upset about in this situation that's really stealing your peace? Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the index finger, even though there's a part of me that's feeling really triggered, really upset. Tap the middle finger, especially when, and then say what triggers that for you. Maybe it's when you get onto social media. Maybe it's when you talk to a roommate or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I love and accept myself. Tap the little finger. Even if part of me gets really upset and shuts down. Tap the side of the hand. Fights back. Pulls away. Tapping the top of the head. I'm giving myself permission to remember that I can tap through anything, including numbness. Tapping the eyebrows, anxiety. Tapping the temples. Tapping the front of the cheeks. And all this distress, tapping under the nose. I feel my world in distress right now. Tapping under the lips. So just sending a big blast of love out to our world. Right? The same way that we just did with ourselves. And you just learned how to open your heart in a loving way and put it into a place of pain. So we did it on a small level, and now we're going to do it on a large level. It's the same exact process. I want you to think of something that you really love. Maybe you really love me. Maybe you really love, someone close to you. But wherever you can feel a tiny bit of even like, I want you to send that frequency of that love to the collective right now, because we're all in this together. Sending it to every human heart that's beating on the planet right now, from the newest born baby that just got here 1 minute ago to the oldest person in the world who's been here for over 100 years. And if it helps, you can imagine this world is quite small and just fits right here in front of your chest, about the size of an orange. That way you don't have to reach too far or try too hard. Let's try that again. Tapping on the front of the ribs, I give myself permission to send this love to every human heart. Big deep breath. And tapping the side of the ribs. And I want you to say to this little baby world that's floating right here in front of you, feel my love. And tap the inside of the wrist, beaming this light from the center of your chest into this little baby world that's learning how to love for the first time, really. Say to this world, I love you. I'm with you. Big, deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb, saying to this world, I love you. I'm with you. I understand how you're feeling. Big, deep breath, sending so much compassion. We're all going through these same feelings of fear together. These same feelings of not knowing. These same feelings of what's going to happen. Tap the index finger, sending so much compassion. One more time, bathing this world in your beautiful, soft, kind, compassionate love. Tapping the middle finger. And breathing in this soft love one more time. Imagining this sweet world floating in front of you. What do you want to tell this world right now? What do you need to hear? I bet you whatever you need to hear, a lot of us need to hear. So tapping the bottom of the fourth finger, and I want you to say to this world what you think it needs to hear right now. You've got 20 seconds. Tapping the little finger. What else do you want them to know if you're going to say, and one more thing? Tapping the side of the hand. Now I want you to say that same thing to yourself using your own name. So I would say Sonya, and then I would say my positive statements. On your mark, get set, go. Beautiful. Tapping the top of the head. I'm allowing myself to receive this. Tapping the eyebrows, and I'm allowing my world to receive this through me. So just dropping down to the chest and listening again. So whatever you're emanating from your voice, from your mood, from your facial expressions, from your gestures, from your choices, you're broadcasting that information out into the space around you. So as you're holding this beautiful, new, positive state for yourself, it's affecting me. I can feel it over here. I'm just like, oh, yes. And it's going through the walls, the people next door, the people down the street. Every single little person on that world is getting this psychic email from you right now, including you. So we're going to take a pause. We're going to check in again. I want you to let me know what your intensity level was at the beginning, where it is now, and a sentence or a few words of what you're holding space for. Meaning, what were those positive things that you just said that you want the world to hear? And I'm going to read those positive things into the world, onto this platform, out into YouTube, because I'm putting all of these virus taps out into YouTube land for free. We have 700 people subscribing to this. They're going to hear it. And I want you to also write it down and put it where you can read it, where it's not just out in digital world, but I want you to read this and put it out up on your wall, on your fridge, on your altar, on a table that you see every day, on your desk, and read this positive statement that you intuitively wrote for the benefit of us all. So as I read these, if you're done writing, I want you to tap along with me, and we're all going to get a positive hit from this. Okay. Tyra says, came in feeling good. Now I'm feeling great. Meredith, Ursula says, I went from an 8 down to a 1. Meredith says, a 9, then a 4, now 1, holding space for growth and healing. Trish says, a 7, a 5, down to a 2, compassionate courage. Joyous H says, all is fine. You are so supported. Erin says, pure love, lighting up to the love reset. Diane says, loving, happy, peaceful, healthy, free, harmonious. Serena says, holding space for trust, faith, unconditional love, down from an 8 to a 3. Marcy says, you are beautiful and always will be. Christina wants the world to hear, let's wake up and we can do this together. We can do it better, be better, love better. We can do this. We need to do this. Your children's children need us to do this. Lively says, we are flourishing. Lively is flourishing. Our planet is flourishing. Love is flourishing. Claudia says, love transmutes absolutely and completely. Nadette says, 7 to a 2 to a 1, kindness to ourselves. We will hug, kiss, love in person again. Rosina says, down to a 0. Ursula says, connect with the earth, get into your body, be still. You'll know what to do from there. Mark D says, down to a 4. I realize, though I may not be in control of this situation, I am in control of how I respond and react to it. Absolutely. Sierra says she was up to a 9 at one point, down to a 3. You are strong, you are powerful. We know it's scary, but we are all right here with you, and we love you. Joya says, your house is fine, your job is fine, your finance is fine, all is fine. Shoto says 8 to a 2, that it will be okay. She wants the world to know it will be better. There is no annihilation, there is only creating and being created. We will take care of you, you can relax, it will be better. Denise says, to the world, you are beautiful, abundant, supportive, amazing, glorious, and more. Noreen says, love, peace, awareness, and understanding. Jennifer D says, we can breathe in each other, breathe out love, courage, and trust for each other. Wow, these comments just keep going and going. Are you having fun with this? Do you like hearing and seeing and reading what everyone's saying? Tara says, from a 4 up to a 7, I think I was feeling quite numb before. Dear world, I love you, and I'm going to do everything in my power to heal you. Trish says, so much juicy abundance here for us. We're allowed to feel happy and free. It's safe to have the sun shine down on you and feel nourished. Lively says, my frustration level is down to 0. My love level is at a 10. That is so beautiful, y'all. Look how quickly you're shifting these moods. It's so easy. I'm like, well, what am I going to do for the last 15 minutes of this session? I'm going to finish reading these, and then we're going to do a little more tapping. Joya says you're supported. Prima says she was numb and overwhelmed, couldn't step into the positive, hence I'm holding space for myself to move in at my own pace. Thank you, Sonya, for holding the large container. And that's totally understandable, Prima. Take your time. I'm glad you're here. Mateo J, strengthening connections and impact for myself and others. Choki says, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I thank you, I love you. There is divinity in it all. Julie says, went from a 5 to a 0. I'm holding love, beauty, happiness together. Mother Earth, says William, is healing, and we were all transforming into a higher consciousness, love and compassion for all beings, 2 to a 0. Okay, angels. I think as much as there is still coming in the chat, just so much, I want to get back to some more affirmations here. So I encourage you to write down that message that you wrote to me and put it where you can see it. Here I go, tapping the eyebrows. I accept, tapping the temples, that my mood matters, tapping the cheeks. I accept my ability to respond to my mood, tapping under the nose. I forgive myself, tapping under the lips, for just now learning how to master my moods and feelings, tapping the chest, or for forgetting that I knew how to do this. Tapping the front of the ribs. I don't have to fake it, tap the side of the ribs. I know how to process, tap the inside of the wrist. No matter what's ahead, tapping the side of the thumb. I'm holding space for bringing in what I desire, tapping the index finger. I want us all to feel loved. What do you think the world would be like if we all felt deeply loved? Tap the middle finger. Let's hold ourselves accountable for creating a populace of people that feel loved by loving ourselves and demonstrating love to those around us. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. So one quick way to master your mood is to bring love into the equation, right? If you don't feel like you have love to give, then you have to start with, okay, my cup is empty. It's really hard for me to care about the world or anybody else if I'm feeling depleted, so I need to stop and give myself love. If your heart's feeling pretty good, then you're like, okay, how do I give love to those around me? I'm seeing people starting all kinds of interesting groups online. I'm seeing people get crafty and clever, making all kinds of ventilators and masks and giving people funny and entertaining, sweet things to do, giving their skills, giving their hearts, creating pleasant diversions so that we can relax and focus on something else and take a break. Tap the top of the head. I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I can do to bring more love into my world? Tap the eyebrows. What is it that I can do to bring more love into my world? And tapping the temple. And however that question lands for you, when you say my world, maybe it means your personal world. You know, maybe it's to clean your environment. Maybe it's to get out of your pajamas, brush your hair. Man, I was looking pretty fraggledy today. I was like, I gotta fix myself up and feel better. I'm so glad I have y'all to dress up for. That makes me really happy. So what is it that I can do to bring more love into my world? Listen for an answer. And when you have that answer, if you feel like sharing it in the chat, I'd like to hear what that is. And if you're committed to experimenting with that. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm committed to bringing more love into my world by doing what? I'm going to look here in the chat and see what you're saying. Share more of my poetry. I'm committed to expressing my art. Take regular care of myself. Put my attention to my heart, right? Christina says, I need to listen to music in headphones to calm myself down. Music is so helpful. Maybe trying to get up earlier to put more of that beautiful morning energy in my life. Putting on colorful clothes, bringing compassion, being centered, speaking my truth, cooking and eating more vegetables, right? Good. So, dancing every day, says Lively. Singing more. Using this solitude to heal my trauma so that I can get more love out into the world. That is a huge gift to all of us, y'all. What would happen if the world went into time out and started healing the trauma and ancestral pain that they've been carrying and accidentally putting out into the field for generations? Right? My commitment is to help this world become more functional, more healthy, more aligned with their hearts, more aligned with their truth, more aligned with their bodies. Because as we become people who do that, we create a society that wouldn't do anything but that. Because happy, healthy people create a happy, healthy world. So I'm doing a 30-day tap challenge on Facebook. I'll post a link on the World Tapping Circle page after this. So all you have to do is look up World Tapping Circle and I'll post a link if anyone wants to get into the 30-day tapping challenge. It started April 1st. That means we're self-tapping for 20 minutes a day. We've got about 70 people in that group. I also want to leave you with a sweet song because each week I'm adding a song from someone that I love. We're going to play it here in a few minutes. And for those of you who have jumped in on the free zone, which I'm so glad you're here, when you can make a donation, please do. It'll help us be able to keep doing this circle. It costs quite a bit of money to pay 5 people to help put this together every week and make sure that the platform stays stable and all of these things work. And I also want you to know that I'm committed to expanding this circle. It can hold up to 10,000 people. And I'd like you to share this. So if you don't have money to contribute and donate, which we'll put up a donate button here for you, share the circle and find friends who need love and support and donate by just helping people get the help that they need. So that's actually a huge contribution to people's hearts as well. It's giving them a testimonial, telling them why it matters to you and how easy it is to do, because you could totally brighten another corner of the world with your love and encouragement. All right, so Magnus, if you wouldn't mind, make sure that donate button goes up. Make sure that that song comes on. I want to leave you with a song from a dear friend of mine called Let There Be Love. What is it called? It's by Tara Divina. Be Love is the name of the song.
Of living my prayer for truth. I call it my prayer, it is simple and clear. It wants me to give and receive love. I call in the light to make everything right and show me the way to just be love. And show me the way to just be love.
There's a link in the chat for you.
I surrender the known for the magic to unfold. I surrender the old for the new. I surrender the ways that have held back my days of living my prayer for truth.
I look forward to seeing you in the circle next time.
Goodbye,
loves.
wants me to give and receive love. I call in the light to make everything right and show me the way.